Okay, take two. The first one crashed on me. Froze. No idea what the deal is there. What's up, Harold?
Are you random? This says random's discussing something.
Yes, I am random.
Okay. So, what time is the Facebook today on?
It's Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, midnight GMT for all our GMT viewers.
Okay, I want to get on that Facebook today.
Yeah, it's Facebook week.
Facebook week? Oh, okay.
What's up, Alan? How you doing, buddy? Can't hear you yet. I guess you know that. You know, for a tech, this is not a good ad for your tech services.
Just,
you know, some guy. I'm an IT expert, and I can't operate a microphone.
Alan, you were in on that discussion we were talking about all these apps that come out?
I'm not an IT expert.
I'm just messing with
Dan,
you.
what gives you the impression that I'm an IT expert?
You're an app expert.
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. That doesn't make me an IT expert. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold's a Navajo
Are you
expert.
just playing with me at this point? Okay.
No, I can hear you fine. There's a slight delay. What kind of internet do you have? Or are there other people in Europe, or in your Freudian slip, are there other people in New York who are using the internet right now, and maybe there's a glitch of some sort?
No, I have no idea. I actually think
Hey,
it's my computer. Just pretty loaded.
Hey, Alan, have you seen this one this app I just put up called Penguins?
No? Oh, yes, I saw the write-up of it.
Yeah, go look at the app. Yeah, I just put it up here. If you go into it, it'll get put in your recent. I don't know how to use it because you have to have two people.
What does it do?
I don't know. You have to have two people. They told me it was really cool.
It's a game.
Yeah, go, pull your picture in the bottom part there. Drag your picture where it says promote to coordinator. Here's one. You can drag it up top here. Yeah.
You know what sucks is I can't join a Hangout twice with a on-air Hangout.
Oh yeah.
Other.
I don't know what you. I can't click start unless somebody else is in. I guess. You have to have two.
There you
If it's a game, no, you wouldn't be able to.
I have no idea. Yeah. Yep.
How does it work that Dan starts a Hangout?
Well, then you'd have to drag your picture to the top. Drag your picture to the top where it says drag your picture here.
I've got to look at the thing because it's asking me for my password and stuff, and I don't want to type it in if the screen is being shared with the viewers. So I've got to see if.
Oh, okay.
It asks for permission. All apps are going to ask for permission to run.
Yeah, they'll allow access, whatever. Yeah.
No, what I mean is I don't know if my whole screen is being shared in the broadcast of this Hangout, and I don't want to broadcast how many characters my password is.
Oh, okay.
Boy, talk about paranoid.
That's interesting. It shouldn't be asking you for a login at all.
I would expect Alan to be this paranoid, but not you, Dan.
Yeah, what I found here is that all these new apps come out, and what you do is all you have to do is you have to start a new Hangout every time, and then load the new app, and then after you do that, it's in your recents.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I found every single app that's out there and put it in my recents.
How many are there?
Did you get the list is right here. Let me bring
Yeah.
up.
Went to hangoutapps.com.
Unofficial
Yeah, I got
list.
the list right here. I'll put it in the chat room here.
Did you go to hangoutapps.com?
I did not.
Yeah, I'll put it in the.
I got this unofficial deal, Alan. Have you looked at that? Unofficial apps app?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it's-
know it's
it's-
unofficial.
It's in the chat room now. I put it in the. Well, I put it in the
Okay.
on the apps
Well,
here.
just for the record, Harold, we don't do just Hangout apps. We have Alan's Hangout apps, and then there's everything else. That's how we split.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's how we go around here.
Exactly.
Oh, because I started a different one.
So if you go down to the apps at the bottom, I just put in the unofficial apps directory.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
that
got that.
Wow.
you can see all the apps that are out.
The only thing I don't understand, that thing kind of looks good. The only problem with that.
I'll tell you, every time I've gone into that app, it's
Thing is that why isn't Alan's app at the very top?
Why isn't Alan's app at the top? That's always a good question.
How do I get rid of it?
Is that exactly?
you got to click on unofficial.
What?
Same way. Close app.
You click
Hover
on
over
people.
the-
Click on people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then click on.
Okay. What's up, Euro Maestro? How you doing, buddy?
Strik is. I understand. It's like he's
You know,
frozen
it's
in time.
interesting. Every time I went into that,
Players into the game. Okay.
every time I went into the unofficial app, my screen degraded, and so did the sound.
Oh, the game's starting.
About CBS, Face the Nation is going to do a hangout, and they're going to use clips of it for the show. That's awesome publicity. That's great. That's
Wow.
like that is Muppet level publicity.
Yeah, Muppet. They had what's his name? Mike Tyson on today. Forget Muppet.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Expecting the guy to bite this
Yeah.
reporter's ear off while she was interviewing him, but
Yeah. I was in that. It was great. He was so good.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm reporting from downtown Dallas.
Hold on. Is it
Oh,
you,
there you
Joe,
go.
or is it one of
Are you
those
serious?
imposter fake profiles of yours, Joe?
That's actually a green screen behind me. I'm actually down in my basement of my house.
Yeah. And what about the actual the body of you? Is that the real Joe Sada, or is that like one of those
I like
imposter
that.
guys one of those spammers?
Believe it or not, this is me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, your
Joe's
green
been
screen's really good
cloned.
because it does the reflection of you in the green screen. It's really nice. You know, it has that extra chroma key aspect to it.
It's much
I
better
like
than
it.
Dan's. It's much better
Yeah.
than Dan's.
Thank
You
you,
ever-
thank you, thank you.
Did you ever see the clip of the reporter? I don't know if it was like ITN or whatever, Channel 4 or BBC or something, but the guy's talking and they got a green screen behind him, and they had superimposed, just a scene of out the window, right? So the traffic moving like he's got there, and this what do you call it, the bird?
Condor, eagle,
A pigeon. Landed, and the pigeon was like 4 feet wide. It was right in front of the camera, and there's a pigeon there.
that's the pigeon noise right there.
Yeah.
Here's the pigeon noise.
That's what I was going to say, when the pigeon flies straight against the window and leaves an imprint of its own eye and its beak actually on the side of the
Exactly.
window. Yeah.
Well, we had some pretty nasty stuff. I've been posting some videos and things on my profile. There's video of tractor trailers flying through the air,
Wow.
picked up and flying really high through the air.
It was really high, and it was interesting watching the traffic as they were, rubbernecking, kind of driving fast enough to get the heck out of there, but their human instinct couldn't resist pausing to watch,
Absolutely.
That must have been frightening.
Trust me, I know that feeling well. We had a windstorm when I lived in Maryland. I don't remember when now. And it's windy outside, so I walk outside with my camera to see what's going on. I'm like, wow, really windy out here. Sky's turning green. It isn't that At which point I ran
Yeah.
for cover.
Well, talking about pigeons, we heard this big old bang on the side of our house this summer, and we didn't know what it was. And we go look on the side of our house. Mike knows what our house looks like. There's blood all over the side of our house. Our neighbor above us is a falconer, and the falcon grabbed this pigeon and killed it, and it smashed it all against the side of our house. There was.
Oh my gosh!
He had to come down, and the guy came down and cleaned up our house for us.
Harold, you realize, of course, today is not April 1st.
No, this is true. This is true. We got blood all over the side of our house.
We want to see the video.
Hey, is anybody in here a Firefox user?
I use it.
Yeah, I use it.
Are you using it now, Oleg?
No, but I could be if you want me to.
Okay, yeah, no, I'd like to test the caption app with Firefox.
Okay.
We had some problems with it when it first launched, but I think the problems have been fixed, but I can't get Firefox to run today.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll jump out and see if I can get in and.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with Chrome. It keeps crashing all the time. I might start.
From time to time. It's not as bad as it used to, but yeah, it still has problems. I agree.
It says kill this page or something like that.
Yeah, no, today my Firefox just, it insists that the plugin isn't there.
I hate that it takes so long to load, and it's always updated, and you wait and wait for the apps, you want to update these apps, like, no, I want a browser.
Use Chrome. So Chrome is so much faster loading all the stuff.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons.
So, Alan, do you have a list of your apps somewhere?
Right now, this is my only app that's currently publicly available.
Okay.
But yes, you can
so
find the list of all of my apps at .com/plus.
The rest of them are going to be $49.95 each. So, if you got your credit card, Alan can provide it.
Buy it now.
The
price will only go up.
10% agent fee.
Hey, look, for you, just $9.99.
Did you say $99.99? No, that's too much. Come on.
No, I said $9.99.
No, I thought you said $99.99.
No.
Okay, I'm saying $99.99.
Yeah, okay. But fine.
All right, I'm going to jump out and try it, and I'll get right back.
So did you put it in the apps thing at the bottom?
It'll automatically show up in the apps thing on the bottom if it's running in the Hangout.
Yeah, I don't. What's the name of it?
Caption.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
Santorum's campaign manager just said he just tweeted, just caught and killed fly with my bare hand. Another similarity between Obama and Santorum. Just kidding. Hey, the DC primaries today. Bruce, what's your prediction? I predict Romney will get 300 votes and Santorum will get 225. What's your prediction in the D.C. Republican?
There are 500
I could not be near that specific.
What do you do with this here? It says, what do you put in the URL?
You don't put what URL?
It says comments tracker URL.
What are you looking at?
Guys, if I want to share
Caption.
the link in a comment for folks who are not in my circles who may want to join this, because I can't share this publicly now that Cheese said it's okay as long as we're not, violating MPAA rules or anything illegal.
Yeah.
Is it the link I see above there? If I share that, that'll work?
That's the link.
That'll work.
I'm on a different... can someone do that? Can someone just copy that link and share it as a comment and say, hey, if you want to join this, if you don't see the option, here's how?
Yeah, that's the physical stream, so that anyone...
Do it after Oleg gets back in.
This is a bad sign.
Let Oleg in first.
Let me see your...
Okay. He's having trouble. Yeah. Oh, there he is, maybe.
Okay, so basically the first time I went in, it told me it's waiting for the... can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because it says my microphone is muted, which of course it's not.
Yeah, that's a strange thing that happens as well. Because of the number of people, your microphone has been
muted. The first
muted.
time when I went in, it said that the Google, it's waiting for Google Talk plugin to respond, which of course it didn't come back. I finally closed it. Then it did a refresh on the window, and then, after a significant while compared to the Chrome deal, it finally came up. So now I'm looking at apps. Apps. Caption.
There's 3 apps running.
It says loading. No, there's only one main one. The other ones are just extra ones.
I guess Gary wants to come in. I just posted it.
Who's Gary?
So he can click on it and come in.
Gary
Levin.
He's in my circles. He doesn't see it?
Oh, he says he's in California. I don't know what he's got. Anyway, I posted it.
So Joe, has there been an update on the number of people that were injured during the storm?
I haven't heard it yet. I do know that lightning just struck horizontally across the sky, but No, I don't have any updates on that. I just know from friends of mine around town, that they were taking shelter, and that there was a lot of low-hanging, tornadic-looking clouds all over the place.
So you decided to be on a 20th story building with glass windows.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that.
We've all seen Twister,
Houston,
so.
too.
We appreciate your dedication to our Tornado Tuesday hangout.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Joe?
Alan,
why I'm here.
So when a cow comes flying through your window, we'll know it's true.
Especially if a semi truck just goes flying by like an airplane, then you're gonna know.
Just make sure you're in a hangout when it's happening, so people can.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, make sure you're in this one so we can
Yeah, when the 18-wheeler lands on your house, can you film it for us, please?
I did hold a hangout a little while ago, and you couldn't see anything but black behind me, for the public, in fact.
Actually, you know what?
Remember the movie Twister?
Need to happen.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the cow.
Yeah, I saw an interview about from someone who was one of those those crazy people who follow these things and sell their footage to TV stations and make big money doing it.
Storm chasers.
Yeah, the storm chasers. And he said it was very accurate, except in real life it's much dirtier. But he said that is what it's like, except of course the cow, But
I was
it was pretty accurate.
I was in a tornado warning when I was in Texas a long time ago, where the tornado comes down and it's within 5 miles, right? The sky was absolutely almost deep red. It was really weird from all the dust in the air. It was bizarre.
Red. They usually say green. Green was what I saw, and exploding transformers.
Man, it was definitely reddish brown. I was outside of Lubbock, so.
It'd be a fun viral Chrome extension. This inspired by this by Google's 8-bit Google Maps thing. If you could turn any site into that, like I just see Mashable just posted what if Facebook was invented in the 90s and they've got like an 8-bit version, real ghetto. I could see that catching on. You could actually charge for that app.
No, 8-bit was like 80s. It wasn't in the 90s.
The glorious days of Pong.
So you're in Firefox right now?
Yes, I am.
Maya, how you doing?
Excellent, thank you.
Hi there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very slow. Sorry.
Hey, Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Hey, Maya. Congratulations on the news from your lawyer yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. Way too long.
That was yesterday, right? I haven't lost track of my days, which I know I'm
well, the big news broke yesterday, yes. So
we can officially say you go, girl.
Yeah, well, there is still the 3-month period during which someone can appeal to it, but yes.
Yeah. Good for you. Congratulations.
It's definitely a lot slower, Alan. Definitely a lot slower.
That's just Firefox that I'll blame on.
Exactly. No, not your app. I just mean the whole experience of going to Hangouts and starting this thing. I mean, it's painfully slow.
You do see sliders on the left-hand side, right? There are actual sliders?
I did, yeah. And I tried to make it small enough, like you told me last time, so that would make it so it doesn't fly across the screen. But then I decided, you know what? Then it's going to look just like yours if it doesn't fly. So I turned it to Dan's favorite communist red color, and decided to have it continue to fly across the screen.
That would be an interesting video that one of you guys could make. You could take. Why am I in the Hangout twice?
I'm just teasing you, buddy.
Because we want to
I did a screenshot.
I don't care. I was just curious. That'd be an interesting video to take Firefox, Chrome, and Internet Explorer, especially when Internet Explorer 9 is it that goes live. If you could start. Load it up, like first click on it to run it, and then open up Google Plus or whatever, and then start a Hangout or launch something, and just split the screen 3 ways so you can watch each browser. That would be really interesting and probably go viral if you could do that. Record them each in real time.
It's going to prove the same point that basically people who know have been making for a while that Chrome is the fastest browser. And people may say, "Oh, Firefox new version is going to be so much faster." They had the JavaScript engine. It's baloney. It's still nowhere near as fast as Chrome is. And
but one of the problems, Oleg, is we don't use it regularly. And so if we use it every day, it might be faster. But we don't use Chrome or Firefox regularly.
Yeah.
And so when you load it, it's updated, and then you're waiting for that, and it's just
no, but it's not the way it's slow.
But it's got the best. Fire FTP is the best FTP client I've seen.
Fire FTP?
Oh yeah, we use that for, when we send our PDFs to the printer.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
What's so awesome about it? Tell me what's so awesome about it.
It's fast and easy. It's cool. We like it.
And which part is easy?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to write a thesis on it. It's just good.
No, FTP is FTP. I mean, yeah, they can look a little nicer. Basically, you have your from, you have your to, you have your configuration, and you send your stuff. To me, what makes an FTP an outstanding FTP is if it's got scripting capability. Then it will make it outstanding. So you don't have to sit like a idiot and keep dragging things over and over and over. You can just basically, especially with a nice interface, have a nice way to schedule it. And then if you have files that you send all the time, or a directory that you send all the time, it just does it automatically. That will be a cool feature for an FTP, and some FTP programs have it.
I wonder what the impact of Dropbox is going to have on FTP in the way that Twitter had on RSS.
Because of the size problem. You only get, I think the maximum they give you is up to 8 gigabytes. And so, the some people, the files that they send.
For commercial use, I mean.
I'm sorry?
For commercial use. Like, for example, we print our papers at an Ogden facility, the Martinsburg Journal, which is like an hour away. So I FTP the files there. It'd be so much easier if I could just drag them into a Dropbox thing, and we spend a fortune.
Well, why don't you share your Dropbox full? How much data are you transferring?
I mean, the whole thing is probably less than 50 megabytes. It's not a big deal.
So why don't you set up a shared folder for them and just share it that way?
Well, the other thing, but I'm just curious what kind of impact, if any, because like with FTP, you've got to log into the program, you got to, log into the site, you got, but with Dropbox, you just drag it in there. You could just have a folder that they would share or something, or a shared folder at the printing press.
Right. Exactly.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. And it would work just as well. I mean, same concept. You
more dead trees. Bruce is back. I thought he had to work.
Yeah, it just ran off.
What's up, Lori?
I think he took a phone call.
Sorry for I just was trying to think of my Dallas peeps. Someone G-talked me and they're like, "Are you alive?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then they sent me that article. I'm like, "Oh, who do I know in Dallas?" I'm like, "Joe." And I was like, "Joe's hanging out." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what if he's like undercover?" I could just see him on his phone, like, like totally. That it looks like it's passing over. It's done.
Yeah, and according to that's what the radar looks like. Here, I'll show you the radar live on my computer.
I'm sorry, guys. This is just really, really not like Texas weather. Holy cow!
Tornadoes?
No. But the one like as big as I heard that Six Flags just got ripped apart completely.
Usually, it's the Amarillo, Lubbock area, right? Tornado Alley.
Yeah, right.
But this is still very.
I don't know how storm chasers. I mean, I guess this probably wasn't storm chasers. It's just someone with a cell phone and living in Dallas, probably. But I don't know how or they could do that. What?
Yeah, it's just nuts.
Dude, Joe, your camera is like crystal clear. I mean, you look like you're in like 3D. Like.
Wow, thank you.
Which camera do you have? Logitech?
It's the Logitech C910.
Well, that's what I have. Why don't I look like you?
Well,
got backlight.
One of the things I've done is I've turned off the fluorescence and I've put on sort of a little spotlight up there for myself and.
I see. Okay.
So I don't know.
You're pulling you're Bruce Garbering us, and like where they come in the studio and lighting. Looks great though. Looks fabulous.
Thanks. I just need now that they have the Logitech C920, I have to own it.
Oh Lord.
Be
No,
careful, there are
I heard they're having more trouble.
That's-
there are
yeah.
some issues with it.
And it's not compatible with Google TV.
Oh, well, never mind then. I'll stick with my trusty C910.
Ask Moritz. He bought it when he was here in the States.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'll stick with this. I was about to give this one to one of our chefs, but they all have them, so.
Joe, you look like you're at work in downtown Dallas or Fort. Where do you live? Is that Dallas?
Downtown Dallas. Yeah.
Were you able to see tornadoes out your window there?
I don't live here. This is my office.
Ah.
So I do spend a lot of time up here, but I don't live up here.
Well, you could technically in like like one of the loft apartments have a view like that. I mean,
Well, actually, let me take you on a tour.
okay.
Let's see here.
If you had the C920, you could literally take me on a tour without having to take.
You're wearing a blue shirt. That's interesting because it looked a different color.
Right over there, that is the Ritz-Carlton and the Ritz-Carlton residences.
Cool.
And it's really nice. And then Chef Dean Faring has a restaurant called Faring's down at the bottom of the restaurant. I mean, at the hotel, first floor, of course, with
Right.
a really cool bar and everything. Right down there, you have Sambuca, a nice restaurant. Of course, that's downtown. Right down there is Morton Steakhouse, and that's it.
What about when I worked for 7-Eleven as contract? They were in a really swanky part, and they were like in a building that was just built in like the really ritzy part of Dallas. Or, I don't know if that's near you. I guess I could Google it.
But I'm broadcasting from the Crescent, so it's a combination of offices and
And the Chipotle's.
a hotel, and Chipotle's is just down McKinney. I eat there all the time. I love it.
What's the other one? I don't like burritos, but the one
Bye, Maya.
that started in
You're staying. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lori.
the College Station burrito place. What's it called? The other.
I know what you mean.
Not Mission Burrito, but the other one. If anybody,
Can I ask 2 7-Eleven questions if you used to work there?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know if you know the first one, but the second one I'm curious your opinion on. And I have 2 other questions. I want to know if Gary and Bruce have the same screen. I want to know if Joe, how he stays so skinny running Chef Hangouts. And I have 2 7-Eleven questions for Lori. One is, when they dumped Venezuelan oil and said it was pre-planned, it wasn't a reaction to his infamous or famous UN speech, was that true? And do you think that the push from 7-Eleven to go from corporate stores to individual franchises has resulted in a general lowering and certainly sporadic quality level compared to what you used to see when most of them were corporate?
Question 1, I don't know the answer. Question 2, I'd have to privately get back. I mean, like,
Okay, that's
I actually just got off the phone with somebody that has been there for 11 years, right before this. So, honestly, I can just give you my personal opinion and what I've witnessed. Because I joined right when Joe DePinto re-stepped in and re-transformed 7-Eleven and did all those changes. So, but not on air. But I'll
Totally cool. Totally cool.
Hold on, I'm gonna try one thing real quick.
How do you stay so skinny?
And the
running
answer
Chef
to your other
Hangouts?
question is...
Yeah, I want to know that.
Well, I was oh boy. Well, I don't know. I try to stay in shape, but you know.
It's that orange stuff from Amazon.
Oh, absolutely. That's what it is.
Plug it.
I'll show you.
I don't know. The answer to the question about
This
the
is
screen is that it looks
This
like
is
Bruce
one
and
of
I
the
have the
easiest
same
items to
screen.
see.
Yeah, it looks like you got the same screen. What is it now? Let me.
It says a
click on
big
here.
G plus on it, though.
This stuff is supposed to be the bomb, according to Joe.
That is the most. Basically, this is the best vitamin C in the world, and
What does it do?
what you have is they use nano technology to get it down to the smallest microscopic little bubbles possible, so that it's basically 90 or 100% digested as opposed to maybe 10% of normal vitamin C. And so I've heard that allergists and people like that will subscribe this instead of even taking vitamin C shots for folks that have allergies. But it's just good for you. I don't have any allergies, so that's not my secret, though.
And you can get it on Amazon, right?
Yeah, you can buy it on Amazon.
We're not plugging, by the way. I just every time I talk to
everyone share their affiliate links.
yeah, and please go to HTTP.
Yes.
Make sure I'm putting LD20. I'm joking.
I've never signed up for that program.
Joe.com/supplements for your free information. your special PDF report about the secrets. Bruce, is that the same screen? It sure looked like it, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't see his. I ordered mine at from Amazon.com. eFurniture, I think, was the company that it was $47, $17 shipping.
And it's a 3-panel.
Well, there's a story behind that. I ordered a 3-panel thinking it would be enough. It was not. So I was going to ship this 3-panel back and exchange it for a 4-panel. And when I got to FedEx, the same company that shipped it to me for $17 wanted $115 to ship it back. And it was only to a neighboring state. So I said, well, there's no way I'm going to do that. So I brought the 3-panel back and ordered another 3-panel, from which I created a 5-panel. So
that's cool. It looks great.
A 4-panel would do it fine.
That's pretty cool.
And I had people teasing me, about, did you get the panel because you're too lazy to make your bed in the morning? And I said no. So I put my C910 up on top of it and shined it down. I pointed it down at my bed, which was always neatly made. But yeah, it works.
Probably make a quick profit. You could sell it to Joe for his next sushi segment as a backdrop.
It just works good. I've got a little alcove off of one part of my room. I can reach out and touch both sides of it. I've got a well, I can
it looks
show you.
Big, but I guess it's not.
Well, I can kind of show you.
It does look big.
It looks like it's 10 feet behind you.
This is my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is my work.
Wow.
Does it work?
That's pretty cool. Does anybody own one of those, like, what, $150 green screens where you can, make?
No.
I have a green screen, but it's not $150.
Listen. I'll tell you what I did.
I have a green.
If you've ever seen my show or look at my profile pic, and you'll see I'm using the green screen behind me, but I have a regular thing covering it right now when I'm not doing the show.
Really?
Fabric from Hobby Lobby.
Really?
What I did. Here's the secret. Go into a fabric store. Try to get a non-shiny fabric, like a cotton or something, right? Not like 100% polyester, because the lights may reflect on it. Just go on your phone and do a Google image search for chroma green.
How do you spell it? Chroma.
Let me type it in. I'll show you.
Okay.
Here's how to get, for $15 to get a $150 green screen.
That's awesome.
And then you just hold it up to the different fabric samples to get the perfect green. Green is the best. Blue is better for film, but green is better for video. So just type in. I'm gonna do a search for chroma green.
Okay. Because I have windows behind me, and it's just certain parts of the day. It's not a good. But I was gonna get like a cheap green screen, but looks like those are for photos in that video, and I don't want to look fake.
It works. I mean, if you've ever seen my show, I'm using fabric from Hobby Lobby.
Really?
Because I wanted it right away.
I never would have thought that. I thought you had a green screen.
Just like I've got.
And you just have it. You just iron it out, right? And put it on the wall.
Yeah. Maggie actually ironed it out for me. But yeah. So what I did was, I just did a Google image search. Okay. And then you pick. They're all kind of the same shade, and then you just kind of pick a nice bright green, and then fill it up full screen, and then just physically hold your phone up to the different fabric swatches until you get the right one.
Gotcha.
And then let me show you the difference, how they compare here. That's exactly what I did. So you can kind of see it's the same color, right?
Wow.
So I just literally went to the fabric store and held this up until I found the right fabric, and I got a cotton, either all or primarily cotton blend, and just did it. And it's important that it be lit consistently. It's not important that it be super bright. The important thing is that it's the same shade of green throughout. And experiment. And then for lighting, I've got these. I mean, I'll grab it. I'll show you.
So how do you change? Don't you need a software if you're gonna do the different color? I mean.
Yeah, I have Wirecast, which Jeff has. That's how we met. And there I'll do the green screen, and I'll switch it to the blue background you see on the show, or whatever background I want, you know.
Wirecast is what.
Yeah, but there's
C-A-S-T, yeah.
So, Lori, are you going to use it for the Hangouts? Are you going to try to use it for Hangouts?
I just am sick of the glare. It glaring on my screen, not for so much Hangouts, but I would definitely like to have more of a, you know, I mean, Joe looks like he's green screened right now, honestly, like, except for the moving cars. You know, it just in general, it just looks like I'm sitting in my office with a crooked blind, which is true. It's for professional, you know. Oh, cool.
Here's what I used to use. This is a professional white box, they call it, right?
Okay.
If you look inside here, I'm going to try to position so you can see the bulb. The bulb in there, it's a 500-watt bulb, and I've got some that are 750, right? So I got a bunch of different lighting stuff for the video stuff we do. So I used to use this, and you sweat like crazy because it's so freaking hot.
Right.
Well, you get the incandescent lights, though.
Yeah, now I switched. It's a halogen, but now I've switched, and I use this from Lowe's for $40 or $30.
Right.
It's three of these things. Let me try to position it so you can see it better. It's three of these things, and I got two of them on one on either side, right? And all it is it is a.
I'm gonna do a screen capture. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in Firefox because for some reason Chrome is not liking.
This is a compact fluorescent bulb, a regular GE reveal for $5 at Walmart. And so I got three of these. They're 26 watts, and then they put out the same lumens that a 100-watt incandescent would.
Wow.
So I've got the equivalent of 300 watts in front of me on either side, and then I have one over my head just for the backlight.
Right. And what is the wattage for those
26 watt CFL GE reveal.
Yeah. The other thing you could do is these guys. Your little clip-on lights.
Yeah.
You put them right at your desk.
Oh yeah.
The three of these together,
Yeah.
it was about the same
thing.
That's about $10, right?
$10.
Yeah.
With the bulb.
Huh.
Yeah, it works great. Now I've got
Flip it at your desk.
there's also LED stuff.
This is awesome. I'm glad you're okay, Joe. That's why I popped in, but I'm learning so much.
All right, this is one of my newspaper TV cameras, right?
Wow.
So I'll show you how bright this is. This is LED. It's very cool.
Right.
Yeah, those are expensive though.
Yeah. Whoa.
But like if I'll just position it on myself just so you can see what it does.
Oh, the light, Josie.
Like it, but you want to aim. It would be aimed right from the camera.
Right.
So this lights the person up, and but this is a expensive option, but it doesn't matter what brand name's on it or whatever, because I tested it. If you want to see a good one, if you go to my show site and just look down the videos, look for the thumbnail that has Chris Perillo in it. It was me, and I had a TV news reporter on with me. And if you look toward the end, you could see me like sweat dripping down my face, right? Yeah. And we were both like sweltering in the studio, so it was crazy. So I was like, screw this, I'm not doing this anymore. So I went to Lowe's and I bought these things. And if you look at the newer shows and compare them, really you can't tell a difference.
Wow.
So instead of like a $1,500 lighting setup, I've got like a $100 lighting setup, and I can't tell any difference.
Yeah, and just so you know, the other thing you can do, which I do, because I'm actually quite cheap, or cost-effective, I should say, I just take a sheet of paper and I put it over the top of it. and it diffuses the light. So it's not super bright on you, and you can adjust it that way. And since these don't burn hot, they won't burn the paper. So you just tape it to it, and it's a diffused light, which is what you want. So it's real simple. Bright on you, and you can adjust.
It's also real easy with this background. I've got a green screen that I bought from Tube Tape, which is basically like a 5x7 green, almost like a twin sheet size, and I can just tack it right up on top of this behind me if I wanted to do something green screen. But I've just found that for what I'm doing right now, this little background works quite well.
No, I think it's great. Like especially with the QR code, Jeff. I love that. Like I know, I think I said that to you a couple weeks ago, but because you're in the tech coffee hangouts, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just brilliant. I mean, just the certain things you can do. I mean, just think about how many people are hanging out with so many different people now. How can you differentiate yourself from the rest? I mean,
right.
So
Jeff is showing us a double-sided one. You can get blue and green.
Yeah, this is Harold. See, this is my blue side. This is my blue side, and then my green side.
And that's a pop-up one.
Do they both work well? Is it basically whatever you're wearing? Because traditionally film would use blue. Like if you look at old Star Wars chroma key scenes, you're going to see blue, and video would use green. Is that still true, or is it just basically if you have a blue shirt on, use the green one, and if it's St. Patrick's Day, you switch?
Like I said, they always recommend green screen for television. If you go to the National Association of Broadcasters convention, which is in this April, they all use green screens. And like you said, blue was used for video. So all the TVs use green screens. Nobody uses blue anymore on the television sets.
hey, Harold, I remember when I used to see like closet hangers behind you. Was that true?
Yeah.
That was, huh?
Yeah, that's it. That's why they're still there. See?
Wait, hold on.
Normally, on the other side, it's a bunch of empty beer cans.
No, that's what I remember when I first met you this summer. That I was always thinking you were coming to me like from your closet. That's so crazy. Well, you guys are so tricky now.
Yeah, we got all these things. What's nice is I have this rafters here. Look at this, how my roof looks like. And so what I do is I just hang this here. I hang it up here, and then I have a beautiful scenery. I just hang it on the rafters like that. You know, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I move my camera over.
What is XSplit, Jeff? Is that the software?
Yeah, that's a software that I use instead of I use both Wirecast and I use XSplit. I use XSplit for the Hangouts.
Jeff, why don't you do a screen share while you're talking and do a quick walkthrough or something?
That'd be awesome.
With the XSplit site and what you like about each or the other.
Right, hold on.
The same one that you
It's
have?
like show and tell. Let me show you this. Wait, hold on. Don't look at mine.
Harold, is that from Lowe's?
Yeah, yes, it's from Lowe's.
40,
Wow.
like 30 or 40 bucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's real cheap and flimsy, and the ends are, you know, you're always worried they're going to break off. Yeah, I got the same thing. It's great.
Looks
It's
like
fantastic.
Dan's, yeah.
Yeah. And I
So-
swear to God, if you look for that one video early on in the series
With Chris
when I'm
Trillo.
sweating, and then look at the new ones, and there's really no difference in quality, in my opinion. And it's 70 degrees instead of 100 degrees. It's a dramatic difference. So go ahead, Jeff. Tell us what's going on there.
Well, you know, what's interesting. I did a screen share, but it's not showing the different shots, right? Well,
No, I did.
Wow.
You did.
Okay, so basically this is XSplit. It has basically 12 different panels that you can add things to, so different shots, and then each shot is another panel, right? So here's a 3-camera shot, which I named 3-camera shot, and then I have a 1-camera close-up, which is my Logitech that's right up here. And then I can do a zoom out on the same one, which is the same shot. And you can add like a movie if you wanted with a video overlay on it.
Huh.
So you can add all in here. This stuff in here is basically, you know, different elements that you add to each shot. And then you can just switch from one shot to another, which is very cool.
And so you have 3 cameras, right?
I have 3 cameras, right? That's the 3rd camera. I have 2 Logitechs, and actually I have 4, but I only use 3 right now.
I have the same
Jeff,
microphone, the
is
Snowball
it
that you have.
compatible with Macintosh?
XSplit isn't, but Wirecast is. But Wirecast doesn't allow you to interface to the Hangout. This does via something called Webcam Max.
So okay. Someone like myself, without 3 cameras, and would this even be beneficial to me?
Well, if you wanted to do, for example, let's see if I can do it here. I don't have a green screen, but if I did, let me do this. Here's my webcam, and then I could try to chroma key it. This allows me to do that.
Oh, cool.
So, but hold on. But you won't. I don't have anything behind me, but I can show you that it will attempt it, right? If I had a green screen, I would be able to key myself in, and I have the.
That's really cool.
Background.
And
it allows you to do it in real time.
It's free, like until April 12th.
Until April 12th. Then it's $39 or $24, whatever it is.
Which software are you talking about?
This is XSplit. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because it's just blinking over here.
Put it in the chat room so I can see which one you're talking about.
Lori, I encourage you to.
I'll put it in there.
Lori, I encourage you to up your production value. Whatever you want to do. But I'll tell you that the content is the king.
Right. Well, right.
I mean, you could have if you have your favorite talk show host could be on their phone, and you would watch. The Pat Sajak show with all of their fancy sets and lighting and crews died, right? So really it's about the content. If you have an interesting conversation and presentation and you do your research and prep ahead of time and really deliver a good, tight product, it really doesn't matter, but all this stuff is gravy and helps.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
But it does allow you to do like picture-in-picture and screen captures and things like that. So like what Dan's talking about, you could pull in an outside source and bring it into the Hangout, and
like for Google Plus Week, what I'll do, I have this Hangout running on my computer to my right.
Right.
And I actually just clip out the top part, the top window, and I bring that up, and you'll see I'm talking into the camera. It's like, joining me. Joining me is Joe from Chef Hangouts, and he'll be right to my side like it's a separate camera, when really I'm just capturing it from the top of the Hangout, and then I'll go full screen, and his audio and video is in sync, and it works, and it looks like a television show, and all I'm doing is capturing different pieces of a Hangout. It's really cool, the technology the stuff that Jeff and I do would have been, $100,000 minimum 15 years ago, right, Jeff? Easy.
You see what I'm doing here? I'm doing this with Webcam Max.
Yeah, and I have Webcam Max, but it gets kind of, for me, it gets, the quality of the picture goes down, and I don't know, I don't like it as much as I did before, but the picture-in-picture, like Joe, you were interviewed by Peter McDermott over the holidays, right?
Yes.
But he had a camera and a camera. How? But he has
a couple set up. Yeah, he has different angles and stuff.
Yeah.
The way our chefs do it is they, most of our chefs at least, have multiple camera setups, and they just use the standard, way to go up to their computer, go within Hangouts, click on settings, quickly switch the camera angle, and go. But that works pretty well for us. But I am interested in learning everything we can about all the other technologies that we could make these classes better with.
Wow.
The single most important thing, in my opinion, is good audio and good lighting. I think those things are crucial. Audio, believe it or not, and anybody contradict me if you disagree, audio is more important than video quality in a video. The audio has to be good.
Absolutely, it must be good.
It must be good. You've got to have. That's why I sit here. Like on TV, they'll have their lapel lavalier microphones and stuff, but those are so expensive to get a good one. The audio I can get from this is dramatically better than any lavalier. If I get it close.
So talk to me about microphones, because I'm talking to you through my laptop right now, which no one's ever. It's a pretty massive laptop, but like the Bruce Garber, and they have those big industrial expensive
You don't
microphone.
need that. There's a $50 mic. In fact, Joe, you may want to. What's the one? I know you guys have heard Mike talk about this several times. What is it? It's a USB XLR combo. It's like $49, and it sounds fantastic.
Bruce has one.
Let me change my camera view. And
Bruce has that.
I want to know what your recommendation is for a chef who's moving about their kitchen.
A remote mic, right?
Yeah.
A boom mic?
No, I wonder if they make them like,
Here you go.
if you're giving a presentation, something to clip on their shirt to wear.
Asden. You should try for like $75, right? They have these Asden Wire Pro mics. The remote mics. Right?
Let's see it.
Okay.
What state are you in, Joe? Or you're in Texas?
Dallas,
Isn't there a big music store that has like a Costco type atmosphere where you can test and listen to different things and get... B&H is a good place to go. The best place, in my opinion, is Washington Music Center, which will be a few days shipping from you. But you can call those guys up and say, listen, I want something that sounds good, that's not too expensive, that I can recommend, that's going to work, without a lot of shuffling noise as the chef moves. And there's nothing wrong with a cable. It's dramatically cheaper. The best thing, of course, if you did a produced show would be to have a sound guy with a boom over the chef. But that's not practical for what you do.
Yeah, these actually work pretty well.
Huh.
They're
Give us a good close-up shot of that, Jeff.
It's an I'm sorry. I'm going to go in a close-up shot.
Is that what you're using right now?
No, I use this remotely when I do my video stuff on the road.
Okay.
My wife actually uses a small little Kodak Play Sport camera, which has a microphone input, and then I use this, and it's good for 90 feet, maybe more.
That's
really
great.
Clear.
Huh.
And then what I did is I upgraded it with a really good. They have stereo mics and stereo mics, lavalier mics, and then they have the single ones. So you want to play around with the sound you want, but it works really, really well.
I have to agree with Dan about how important sound is. That's one thing that we preach, we really, really stress make sure that your sound quality is good because first of all, people have to be able to get the volume out of your sound. It has to be clear enough that they understand it. It's tough enough in the kitchen when there's a lot of noise already, but we want to make sure that our customers can hear the chef.
Yeah.
And then they need to speak slow enough. It's very easy to start talking fast and to make sure you elaborate and you talk slow enough to where people, as well.
Absolutely.
To a degree, but the audio quality is the most important thing. I mean, remember those old FedEx commercials where the guy was talking a mile a minute? It was good audio quality, so you understood what he was saying.
You mean the furniture? Buy now and buy.
Yeah.
And
Give me money.
You can go the mixer route.
Wow.
Is that a Behringer, Jeff?
No, this is Elise.
You guys are high tech.
No, I actually stopped using it because I only have one mic right now. So, instead of my USB mic. But one of the advantages of what Bruce is going to show you, or you can get something called an Icicle that does a conversion to USB or anything that gives you a regular microphone to USB. Then you can use it for this when you want to upgrade, right, to mixing sound and compressing your sound and stuff like that.
Bruce just left.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
So the mic that's $50. Which one is that?
I think Bruce could tell us, but he just left. I think he's coming back.
Yeah, I think it's called I think it might be an Audio Technica mic with a XLR and USB.
And it sounds phenomenal.
Or you get a regular mic and then you buy this is a regular microphone, right? And I just plug this in. Now it's a USB mic.
Joe, you're going to upload this to YouTube, right? Because go back going, what did my notes say again?
Exactly.
Yeah, this will be uploaded and it'll.
Yeah.
I'll mention everyone, but this is the mic I use. But it has a regular XLR cable. So it's not. But the one Bruce can tell you because he bought one. Bruce, can you tell us? I don't know if you're fully functional yet or if you're having technical issues. I guess he's having some kind of glitch.
Looks like he's frozen.
A rare Bruce glitch. But yeah, he's got some fantastic sounding mic that our buddy Mike, who comes on the show once in a while, told us about, and it's just great. I mean, he held up like a $500. He held something up like a Neumann, like thousands of dollars, and held this thing up, and there wasn't a dramatic difference in a Hangout because, of course, the Hangout is not like DVD quality audio. Alan may know. Alan, do you remember the microphone that Mike always recommends? It was $50 USB and XLR combo deal.
I have to look it up. I have it written down here somewhere. No, I don't remember, but see if I can find it in my notes.
Ironic, I'm asking Alan for audio advice.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yes, the worst audio in the show.
Can you hear me?
No, actually, are you guys using Chrome right now? Because I found Chrome to crash on Hangouts.
Yeah, I'm using Chrome, and I'm having horrible problems
Yeah.
trying to get
It
back in
crashes
right
all
now.
the time. Yeah.
Try Firefox.
I switched over to Internet Explorer right now. I couldn't get Firefox to work. I tried to come in 3 times with Firefox, so I went over to Internet Explorer.
That's the freaky thing. Now that they're all auto-updating, it's not like the old days where you would, a new version is available. They can update daily or whatever they want to do, and just silently in the background. So you go through these peaks and valleys where it works really well, and then it sucks, and then it works great again. Bruce, what's that mic? That the USB XLR combo, $50 sounds awesome. I guess we lost him again.
What's really funny is we did the longest Hangout for 77 days, and the browser didn't break in 77 days. That doesn't happen anymore. We could never do that again.
They're all divorced now.
No, they're just always updating Chrome, and I mean, back in the beta days, it was like, here you go, test this out for 5 months. But I never knew you guys never ever disconnected, or was it Andy that always had it going?
Yeah, Andy, yeah. Yeah, Andy ran for 77 days without crashing.
Wow.
Joe, you get chefs in different locations, right? And they start to hang out from anywhere?
Yes, our chefs range from Australia to Romania to all over the United States and Canada.
If people are interested in this, what's the? I guess they go to search and Chef Hangouts.
It's actually singular, chefhangout.com.
Okay,
and,
chefhangout.com.
Right.
So what does it cost?
Under his name, it's on there.
The cost ranges from as little as $5 for like a little half-hour micro class. I know Krista Dearden. She runs a Kids Can Cook Tuesday class where you bring your kids into the kitchen with you, and they get a chance to have a little fun for a half hour in the kitchen and learn how to make granola bars or something like that, on up to even private sessions where you can engage a chef for an hour or two, and those will run as high as $60 or $70. But by and large, the classes run between $15 and $25 a class.
That's cool.
How many do you run a week?
I would guess that we have somewhere around 5 to 8 classes a week.
Awesome.
So this is the ATR 2100 that I'm showing. It's a couple things to note about it. One is that it's a dynamic mic as opposed to a condenser mic, which means it's not as sensitive to a lot of room noise. So if you don't have a real quiet room, it's going to a condenser mic is going to pick up fan noise and stuff like that. But this is a dynamic mic, and it's not sensitive. Granted, I've got a deeper voice, but this is USB and XLR. So I've got it connected by XLR to my mixer, but I've also got it connected USB to my laptop as well. And then it's its own sound card. So it's got a headphone jack out here that I've got connected to my mixer. So I can actually do a Skype interview with somebody using a little Behringer 302 USB mixer with no aux send and get a very simple
Wow.
What do you call
But
it?
Joe and Lori, listen how good he sounds.
No, you do. So
less than $50.
The audio, what you just typed in, is there any other parts? Because you connected your mic, the USB.
No. Well, the Audio Technica comes with the microphone.
Right.
Comes with a stand, and comes with a USB cable to plug it right into your computer. So if you just want really good quality,
how would it be
than you
from
have right now, you plug it into the USB port and choose it in Hangouts as your microphone source, and it'll be good.
Where would you buy this from? What website?
Right there. There's a link in the chat room for it.
$57 Amazon.com. It's become very popular, so I've seen the price creep up a couple bucks every so often. So,
hey, Bruce, how well would that pick up from, say, 10, 12 feet away?
You wouldn't want to use it for that. If I were doing 10, 12 feet away, I would use this Blue Yeti in it. And
Which
the Blue
one,
Yeti,
boom? A tall, skinny boom?
Well, you could use a tall, skinny boom mic overhead. I've got a friend of mine that uses that for his show, but this is a Blue Yeti, and it's going to go for around $90 or something like that. But it's got 4 settings on the back, one of which is Omni. So if you were wanting to, we use 3 of these, one each in our executive conference rooms back at our home office in Florida, where we do Skype group on a 72-inch sharp flat screen, and they have one of these in each one of those rooms. And it picks up everybody really good. And it's got a threaded thing on the bottom where you could stick it on a microphone stand if you want. But
I just posted a link for, I don't want to say it on air, but I have a gift card to that store. Is that the same thing?
Hangout Secrets.
Hangout Secrets. No.
There's a site for you.
Yes, that is.
Cool. That's like my gift card.
That is the same one, yeah.
Thank you, Google.
Don't you love collaboration?
That's what I get for walking in the rain in a photo walk for 3 hours and getting walking pneumonia. I get a boom mic. Yay.
Every cloud is a silver lining.
I know.
Someone's suggesting that we try Google Chrome Canary version. Thaddeus Howes. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is saying that in the comment.
Google
Do you
Chrome
have that
Canary,
installed?
Yeah, because that's real stable.
Yeah.
Alan, what are you up to there? I see you're sharing a screen.
My still screen. Oh, that picture was one I took about 10 years ago of a tornado heading for my 4th floor apartment.
Wow. Could you possibly make it any bigger?
No, I couldn't. This was taken using like 10-year-old digital camera technology.
You can't hit Control Plus?
Was that an F5?
I can make it bigger, but it's not going to look any better, I'll tell you that.
If you minimize your screen, if you make your screen smaller, we'll be able to see. I think. I'm not.
Hang on.
Just Control Plus it. Let's see until it's pixelated.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Wow. Was that an F4?
No, that was me just shrinking the...
No, the hurricane, or whatever it was, the tornado.
The hurricane?
Later.
No, that was, I think they finally rated it an F1.
F1? Wow. Poor Bruce. I don't know if I should take his advice or not.
Bruce, great comment.
Joking, I'm joking.
Comment in chat, he said, got to run, wife of 40 years up already, and I want to make it to 50.
Good reason.
He has his priorities straight. That's great. Bruce is a great guy.
Bruce is great.
One other quick thing on mics, Dan and Lori. I even tested the little Bluetooth mic or little Bluetooth earpieces that you use with your cell phone, and they work in Hangouts, but people told me that they had a slight Bluetoothy sound to it, and
probably massive compression to make it work.
Yeah.
What about Plantronics? I mean, it was a couple $100, but when I was recruiting full time, I had a remote Plantronics that would go into my ear, and that was like crystal clear quality. I mean, there's a little bit of a boom mic. Let me try and it'd probably come out with a better one. But have you seen that or tried that?
I have not tried the Bluetooth headsets that are made for the computer yet, but we need to.
Does it have to be wireless, or can it just be?
I mean, it doesn't have.
You're always going to have a compromise in quality with wireless.
Yeah, I agree. I think our chefs have tried a lot of different things, and I'm right now the mic of choice is the built-in notebook computer mic. I mean, that's just what most of them use. But
well, that was my question. Is I'm using my mic right now that's built into my HP. I mean, do I sound okay?
Yes.
It sounds it's fine. It's clear and it's fine, but it definitely sounds like a laptop mic. It doesn't sound a mic.
Fine. Yeah.
A mic and a speaker are the same thing. They vibrate to either capture or generate sound. So imagine if you had a big, gigantic set of speakers, right? An 18-inch subwoofer, a 12, 15-inch mid-range, and a 2-inch horn. You're going to get incredible concert quality sound. If you have a little tiny speaker, you're going to get crap sound, right? A microphone's the same thing. You cannot beat, a big microphone.
So let me ask you a question because I'm wired in.
Just to give you an example, when Mike is here and he does his microphone demonstrations for us, he goes through a good 4 or 5 mics and says, okay, which sounds better, this or this, this or this. And you can hear the difference. And he'll tell you, well, okay, this was a $900 microphone and this was a $50 microphone. You can see which one is better, but is it $850 better? Well, not for me.
This is a cheap Logitech, $15 mic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this would sound better? I mean, I have never used it. Would this sound better than my laptop speakers?
You could probably plug it in and just switch in your settings without having to exit, and we can tell.
Interesting.
Probably the biggest thing about that microphone is it's probably a little more unidirectional than your laptop mic, and it probably won't pick up the laptop noise as much.
My strongest advice is whatever Anthony uses, don't use. I love Anthony, but his audio is awful. Say something, Anthony.
Aw, poor Anthony.
And,
talking now.
Can you hear me now? I'm on my wired headset.
That's not bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's got a fair amount of room. I mean, you could pretty much cover a kitchen with this, and but the wire may get in the way of your hands. I don't know, but we have experimented with these too.
Did you see that Plantronics link I sent, Joe? That's kind of just a fast search, but that's what I used, with the telephone kind of. I know it's different.
That's beautiful.
Whenever possible, give the model number for folks watching who aren't privy to the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's the B230 Voyager Pro UC wireless cell phone headset, Bluetooth, 6 hours talk, 5 days standby, available at a whole lot of retailers. That's a very nice looking Bluetooth. It ranges, depending on the retailer, between $115 and $200.
We use an 18. I just hired a salesperson, and I'm getting ready to hire a second and perhaps a third for our inside sales team, which is basically, that means they're in the office calling people, right, as opposed to outside where they're walking into the restaurant hitting them up. So the inside sales team has a headset, and what we do is we use Google Voice as their phone number. And then when they're making a call, they can write in Gmail. They can make a call using Google Voice or Google Talk or whatever it is, and they can call a number. And then if they receive a call, how do you deal with that? Because with Google Voice, it just goes to your voicemail. It has to ring a phone. So for that, what I do is I get a Magic Jack, which is $20 a year, and then a physical phone hooked up to it. So if they receive a call, because it's always best in sales to have the customer get their call answered, not a message, whenever possible. And so I set that up, and I use an $18 Walmart headset, and it sounds fantastic. So, in fact, I'll grab it and show it to you. It's whatever they sell. I don't even know what brand it is.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, I hear you great.
I just plugged in that Logitech.
Oh, it sounds really well. It's really nice.
But it's sitting on top of my keyboard, so...
Well, you don't want to type anyway, so that's fine.
You know what, Alan? I met you a while back when the Aces Poker was in beta, and your profile struck me. It's very... I literally thought you were a prisoner. No, I'm not joking.
That a lot.
I didn't circle you back because I was like, well, maybe he's in prison and he just wants to play poker all day long. I don't know, I think someone tagged you, and then you saw. That's right. It was a beta invite, and then did you ever get a beta invite from my friend?
To be honest, I don't remember anymore. I didn't ever try it out. and I haven't gotten around to trying it out even now that it's in production.
Well, let's talk about a branded profile. I completely remember like a whole back and forth message between the two of us. That's crazy. Well, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I hope I've assured you by this point that I'm not, physically incarcerated anymore.
And you're an app developer, from what I see.
Yes, but anyone could say anything.
Right, that's true. Now Dan is completely brown, and Harold's half green.
I know. What's going on with this camera thing? It's weird. I just moved it over to my other spot.
And we have a heavy breather on the phone.
Okay. All right. I think I have the other thing. Now, right now, I'm going to switch. This is an $18 piece of POC brand, whatever. So I'm going to try to switch and see. Right now, I'm talking to you in a KSM Shure KSM 32, which is about a $500 mic. So now I'm going to switch to the $18 mic, and you guys can see if it works. If I can switch it here. Microphone input. Microphone. All right. Can you guys hear me?
Sort of.
Barely.
Okay. Let me see what kind. Is it real? The volume's low, or what's the deal?
It's a little lower, and it's not nearly the crisp and crisp and clarity.
Interesting.
Is lacking.
Tongue twister.
So I'll do like a just as a test here. This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test. The broadcasters in your area, in voluntary cooperation with federal, state, and local authorities, have developed this test to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been instructed where to tune in your area for news and official information. Blah blah blah. And then let me switch to the other mic, and we'll see how that compares.
It sounded pretty much. I got the Plantronics one. I'm going to plug that in too.
So you guys
No,
think
we don't hear you yet. It hasn't switched yet.
No.
Dan, it has not switched yet.
Didn't switch over.
Okay, I think it did now.
Now it did?
Yes.
So it is a difference, but it's like $18 works, but versus $500. But that thing Bruce has is amazing. That $50 is straight up amazing.
So this Logitech I'm speaking into right now is literally $20. Is it worth? I mean, does it sound that much better from my laptop speaker or mic?
I think it does. It sounds less tinny.
Tinny?
It's worth using in Hangouts.
It sounds a little crisper. It's like I wouldn't say there was background noise, but there's a little something.
It's better than the laptop, though, for sure.
Okay.
If you have an option, definitely use it.
Well, then I will. Thank you. And I think I'm going to purchase that other mic on that website. Not Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to. I'm going to switch. Right now, I'm using the Logitech. I have also a Logitech. I'm going to switch over to the one I have in my head now and see if it sounds different. This is a Plantronics one. They said it was the best one when the USB headset.
No, we can't hear you.
Save settings.
I guess it takes a sec for it to switch over.
It does.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's louder.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it picking it up? Is this picking up now?
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it sound a little bit better than the other one? Yeah, because this one here, I have to
Very
yell
clear.
when I talk to the other one because it's far away. But here I can talk real soft with this one. Yeah.
The key is not to have it right in front so you're getting all the pops. To have it just a little bit to the side, but close, but not too close. It's a balancing act.
Okay. Oh, come on, camera. Well, my camera won't go down.
It's always interesting. Some great audio tests are whenever the Republican or Democrat conventions are going on. You see the correspondents for CNN and Fox News down on the floor to see what they're wearing because they have to be portable, and they go through peaks and valleys of quality, I think. Sometimes it sounds awful, and sometimes it's really good. And they always experiment with the newest thing because it's a real logistical nightmare to try to, shoot a camera down from the top of the stadium down to this correspondent and have the audio working, and they want to mill around and talk to the Oregon delegates and then the Utah delegates, etc. So that's always an interesting testing ground to watch.
Yeah, so is this the position of the mic that's best down here?
That's good, as long as you're not popping, straight up into it.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's close enough to get the least amount of ambient noise versus what you're, trying to project.
Yeah, the one that I like the best is my snowball. I have my snowball that I use a lot, and that seems to be the best quality.
You know what I think?
Lori, if you want to test your mics, Lori, if you buy Odyssey, if you go by Odyssey, what you do is you can record it and then listen right back to it, and then record another one and listen right back to it. You can see for yourself which is the best one. That's the way I test my mics. Is Odyssey is a little free program that's a little recorder program that's free, and that's what you can test with that.
That's one of the things I've actually asked the Hangout people for, is a way to listen to your own audio before you enter a Hangout. Just
if you have
do an audio playback.
If you have this, well, not a Hangout feature, but if you have the C910, can't you, or Google Voice, you could record a voicemail to yourself, right?
Sure. I mean, I
guess that wouldn't be a Hangout, though. You're right.
But here's the thing: if it's a problem with the Hangout, if it's a problem with whatever the Google settings are, I'd like to know that before I get in the Hangout and sound like a hamster.
That's what I think I'm not the green room's for. Not that anybody ever does that, because you jump right into a Hangout. But I think, can't you test both your sound and your audio in the green room?
You can test your video, and you can test your speakers, but testing your audio only gives you a mic level. It lets you know if it's working, but not if it's working correctly.
Huh.
And a problem that I have suffered from, and I still suffer from to some extent, is I'll get into a Hangout and I'll start talking, and everyone's like, "Alan, you sound like a gerbil." And
what's up with that, Alan? I don't think your internet's good quality. Do you have real internet? Are you on dial-up or something? What's the deal?
In my history, I've been known to have bad internet, but I don't think that's my problem. I think my problem in this case is that whatever audio device I'm using is either flaking out or having driver issues.
Do you have DSL or cable?
Cable.
Huh. What's your speed?
Give me a second. I'll tell you what my current speed test.
Everyone share your speed. Anthony, you're not talking. How come?
I don't have anything to say.
Not after you insulted him before.
He's upset about my dig on his audio quality.
Oh.
I'm running a speed test now.
You are? I'm going to run one.
I love speedtest.net for speed.
That's what I'm using.
You know that you have an app for that on Android now?
I use it on my iPhone.
I didn't know that.
Did I just admit I have an iPhone?
You made her leave.
That's a fluke. All right, I just got 29 down, 29.29, and 8.37 up. But it's normally about 10, and I think that's affected by the fact that I'm doing the Hangout on Air, so it's shooting,
And she's back. That's really fast. That sounds nice. I am 19.5 down, and I'm just under 16 up.
Wow, how'd you get that much up?
It's a business, T1 kind of level.
I work for the government.
Yeah, that's about all I can tell you at this point, Dan.
I've got Comcast Business Class, the medium level, and I get about 30 down and 10 up, which is fine for my show. It's great.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Most people get like 1 or 2 up,
I'm 23 down and 4 up. That doesn't sound right. Is it speedtest.org?
Net.
Speedtest.com.
Yeah, okay, it looks
Or
different.
.net. Speedtest.net is what I use.
Okay, yeah, this is.
But you'll test it 3 times and you'll get 3 wildly different results.
What if I have 15,000 browsers open in 2 different, or tabs open in 2 different browsers?
I do too, but I don't think it's affecting mine.
And then you have
Hey,
to find where the noise is coming from.
I'd just like to announce that we have a visitor at chefhangout.com visiting us from Casablanca.
Wow.
Really? He could probably teach you a thing or two.
I love watching real-time analytics from Google.
That's awesome.
Google is it's really cool. I thought, my gosh, the northwestern tip of Africa, the African continent, and there's somebody in Casablanca checking out the site.
How are you looking at your comments, or where are you viewing?
No. I'm actually I can watch a real-time global map of. We have it set up so that we can see everything that's going on, what pages are being viewed, and it's a beta thing for Google on their analytics, and now the person from Casablanca is gone.
Yeah. Is that a good down and up speed? 21.6.
I think it's great. I think it's really good.
Well, I pay a lot of. I mean, I've got UVerse, and we pay for Max Pro, which is.
I'd like to thank you, Dan, for jinxing my network connection.
Oops, something's ringing, and I don't know where. Oh my goodness.
George has a comment on your audio quality, Alan.
Yeah?
He said, and I quote verbatim, Alan always sounds like he is talking into an empty bucket for some reason. I don't know what's up with his mic.
So my upload speed today is 4.75 megabits per second.
That's good.
You have a lot of fluctuations. You'll be fine, and then all of a sudden there'll be a gap between your audio and video, and then you're fine again. It's weird. I kind of wish you'd get a mic.
Where do you live in a? Where do you live in a? I'm not asking where do you live. But
I live in a semi-urban area.
Okay, that's what I meant. Thank you.
He lives in a prison.
I know. I'm still trying
He's
to
on
figure
work
out if you're in
release.
jail or not.
It's a pseudonym thing. You wouldn't understand, I guess.
Hey, who was going to post this YouTube link on their profile? Because I have a friend, Jeremy, that said he was hiding in the bathroom with his wife and 3 kids and his 2 poodles, 3 stuffed animals, and 2 iPhones and an iPad. But he's all good now. and so I was just sharing him that, Joe, at the beginning of this Hangout, you were showing some of the storms. Are you streaming it, or is Dan streaming it?
I'm streaming this one, and then I'll share it, and then
Okay, great.
I'll mention all you guys so that you'll see it and you can share it or whatever you want to do.
Wonderful. Uh-oh. I need to...
I'm going to need to get going here in just a second.
Yes.
I'm glad I could report live from Dallas.
I'm glad you're okay. I mean, goodness gracious. That's just...
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was completely insane.
How long lasting was it? The actual thunderstorm or what have you?
I think that it probably, give or take where you were, was a couple of hours, and but we really, downtown Dallas got away unscathed.
But it's not common, right? I mean, it's not a big tornado area.
No. Well...
Yeah, we get our share of tornadoes.
But they're normally... I mean, this sounds horrible, but they're normally not downtown. Like... No. I would be curious if you could DVR, or if you get home in time, the news. I guess I probably could, about Six Flags, because that's just nuts.
That's a good idea. I'm going to set my DVR right here, and I can set it from here. I almost forgot I could do that.
Wait,
I love that app.
do you have ATT Uverse?
No, I can do it through Dish Network.
Oh, cool.
And I have this thing, remote access.
Yeah, I've heard about it, and I didn't know if ATT had it yet, because that's pretty cool to just, because when you want to watch the most important thing, you're always on the go, and you're like, darn it, I should have said it.
Yeah, you don't use it much, but every once in a while you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll go with the HD.
Well, that's sweet of you.
I'll do Fox 4 News at 5:30. I think I'll record that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go jump in and record 6 o'clock. I'm sure they're going to, all of Texas will be reporting it. I'm sure reporters drove down to Dallas to get this story.
Oh, it's national news, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna run too, and nice chatting with all of you. And Alan, I'm glad to know that you're not a prisoner now. And Anthony, it's been a pleasure the couple minutes we talked. And Dan, thanks for all the information. And I'll follow up with you regarding your question that you had, the second question regarding 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And Joe, it's always a pleasure.
Very nice to see you again.
We need Muhammad. We need to do a Hangout Chef show with Muhammad.
Yeah, that would be fun. Okay.
Bye, guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Lori.
Bye, Lori.
Bye, guys.
Dan, thank you for hosting this.
It was my pleasure. It was just random. I was bored, and I thought, well, let me get unboard and get some interesting people. So here we go. Tornado Tuesday.
Tornado Tuesday. Signing off from Dallas, I'm Joe Sod, reporting live from downtown Dallas.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Bye.
Anthony, is there construction going on?
Apparently, this is why I need one of those mics. I have no idea what's going on.
Is it an apartment building, or what is it?
No, it's in my house.
Huh. Maybe something risque is going on. Who knows?
I think someone might be pounding chicken or something.
As I said, what are they? They're beating a chicken up to I guess, tenderize it, or what are they doing?
You kidding me?
I don't know. New York people. So did you guys figure out the pink slime thing?
Oh, I sent you a link saying that they stopped carrying anything like even remotely close to that, right?
Yeah, that destroyed the company. The one that did the ammonia stuff.
I don't know. I think they're the biggest beef company on the planet.
I think Cargill's the biggest, but they didn't do ammonia. Beef Products Incorporated, or whatever it was the one that did the ammonia puff, which really is, I mean, it's really probably perfectly safe and not at all bad for you. The whole thing is people got. I think what made people mad is the lack of transparency.
Yeah,
that they
I'm
could
surprised to hear that coming from you.
Stick this filler in. It's probably no worse than what's in Spam. Come on.
I'm still surprised to hear it from you. You're the processed food is bad camp.
No. But I'm saying that they have a right to sell whatever. If you want to, eat cotton candy or whatever. Yeah. But
who was our guest that said that it's fine to do? It's perfectly. Oh, it was Pam who said it. That it's the process is perfectly fine. It's completely safe, and it's dog food.
You could say the same thing about Spam or any number of things. But don't sneak it in. Don't tell me I have a steak, and there's Spam in there, and you're legally allowed by the federal government to not tell me that. That's what pissed people off. Just like that thing where the meat glue, where they take different pieces and glue it together and then slice it. It looks like a steak, and they can sell it, and they don't have to tell you that it's not a steak. That's insane. It's like it gets to this like the FAA, the dual role they have of promoting the industry while at the same time regulating it is a natural conflict of interest.
Right. I mean, a steak is a steak. That's a type of, like, I mean, I'm not defending what you're talking about at all, but a steak is, like, how you cut the meat. It's not a type.
Yeah,
it's not,
of,
you know, it's not a section of the cow. Right.
It's not a formulated food product made in a factory with natural flavorings enhancing it. I mean, it's BS. You know, give me a.
No, I mean, like I mean, just a steak in general is it's just a slab of meat is what a steak is. It's not like a T-bone steak. You know, a T-bone steak is a
Right, but what they're doing is they're gluing stuff together to create a steak-looking product. Now, there are innovative uses for this, and I've posted on this, like to take chicken and beef together and create some kind of hybrid steak that's clearly labeled as such and is an innovative, interesting idea, and neat, and will be fun to eat.
We call that the foul cow.
The what? The foul cow?
Foul cow.
Oh, dear. You have reached the end of the internet. But yeah, don't lie to me. Don't hide things from me. If you're taking the cartilage and the nostrils and the earlobes of the freaking cow and you're putting it into what you're calling hamburger, then label it as such. Let me know that you've introduced 10% scrapple. You know, it's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with scrapple or Spam or any of that stuff. It's probably fine for you. Nobody's dying from it. But tell us. Don't.
I mean, to me, it's the same thing as Jello. Like, no.
It's disgusting.
I mean,
if you think about what it is.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God. I'm sure a hot dog is way grosser than anything coming out of.
This reminds me. I had a friend, an acquaintance, who lived in Germany, I guess about 10, 12 years ago. And he was complaining at the time. He's like, man, they started selling my favorite candy because of the stupid mad cow scare. And we're like, stop selling candy because of mad cow scare? This seems a little strange. Do you have, like, a reference to this? He's like, no, there's no reason for it at all. So, you know, he finally tells us what the name of this candy is, and we go and look it up, and it's made out of cow cartilage. And we're like, dude, do you know where mad cow disease comes from? Do you know what its origin is? And he's like, no.
I can't imagine that would survive going hard candy or something.
Prions are funny creatures. That was the problem, is that prions do survive high temperatures.
I mean, how many humans have gotten mad cow disease?
Almost none. At least none that have been
like
traced
of all the things I have to worry about.
Well, but you know, it was one of those. Hey, actually it's a non-zero number, but it's, you know, at the time there was still a lot of question about just how much prion transmission there could be. But here he was just, you know, whining about the fact that his candy was gone and how there's no connection at all to this mad cow disease. And we're like, dude, there's a direct connection. You can say that it doesn't, you know, that it wouldn't have happened. You can say there have been no cases, but there's a pretty clear link to why they pulled it. What?
This red dye that's ground up insects? Are you kidding me? And it's commonly used.
Oh, that one's fine though.
I don't want to eat ground up insects.
What was that?
Only approved.
You don't eat ground up insects?
I'm not all about that.
Why not?
I'm a food processor, and I've never used it for that purpose. I mean, who the hell wants to find out that this red stuff, this whatever, has ground up insects that create the red color or whatever it is?
Why haven't you eaten ground up insects? I've eaten live. I've eaten straight insects.
Ah, you're a freak.
That's called survival training.
Good for you. I'm glad that you'll survive if you know.
No, seriously, insects are a fine source of protein, Dan. There's nothing wrong with them at all.
Tell me I'm eating insects so I know.
Dan?
That's my only issue.
Dan?
Yes.
Do you want to know how many insect larvae are in...
Oh, I can't imagine it. A head of lettuce,
box
probably
of rice?
10,000. Oh, it's all kinds of stuff. We used to, when we were in India, the food was so old by the time we got it that we would...
This I'm not sure.
We just knew that you would get the cereal, you'd pour it in the bowl as a little kid, and you knew to like shake the cereal up and let the bugs rise to the surface and then scoop them off before you ate. That's the way we didn't know any different. We didn't think there was anything weird about that at all. One time my sister was eating a piece of hollow licorice, and there were bugs crawling out the other side, and she was chomping down. It's disgusting. And don't even get me started on what's in flour if you let it sit long enough in a hot, humid climate. All that stuff that's in there that hatches that you're not even aware is in there. Welcome our new user, Scott. Our new visitor. There is a process to joining this, apparently.
What do you mean a process?
I see people, there's often a longer delay in the on-air hangout when they first indicate they're coming in versus when they...
I even see that in regular Hangouts. I don't think it's on-air related.
And I wish I could join multiple times. I'd love to be able to join from this computer to do a screen share, but I can't. I can only do that in a regular Hangout.
Yeah, create another account.
But that would be cheating and a pain in the ass.
Create a brand page.
No, well, that's true. You can join.
Oh, I could join Internet Explorer, which I use to upload to YouTube with my other account. That would work.
But just create another account, Dan. Even Google says you can do it.
It's interesting. They even say that you're allowed to post the link to join the Hangout to the public. Cheese said they didn't care as long as you weren't doing anything illegal. I wonder if Scott's trying to join mobile.
No, I don't think it'd make even. Well,
anything anybody wants to talk about? Or we reached the end of the...
What do you think about... And I haven't read into this at all. I've only seen headlines. But what do you think about those self-defense laws in the Florida case?
Oh, the stand your ground law?
Yeah.
It appears to have had a negative effect in this case, but we don't know all the facts in that. I guess what's the gist of it, Anthony? That if you're in a confrontational situation, you have no duty to try to get away with it or get away from it without using deadly force. You have the right to simply stand there and just, use whatever force necessary. I think it's the gist of it, right? The stand your ground law.
Yeah, like I said, I only saw headlines, and I do intend to look into it, but I haven't had the time.
Yeah, I think this case is very interesting because it's been so blown. I mean, it's been so. You keep hearing different things. Initially, you heard crazy stuff, and it seemed one way. Then you see, oh well, it was him getting beat up, and then you see, oh, there's video of him when he got arrested, going to the police station where there's no bruises on him, and then the next thing is, oh, look, if you do a high-def version and zoom in, there are bruises or marks. So I have no idea what to think about this case yet. And then NBC's horrific editing of the audio to create a false impression of what actually was said. I don't know. I think the best thing I saw on this was I think it was in the McLaughlin group last week where they were talking about it. It's really good. You can get it if you go to YouTube and look up McLaughlin group, the last episode, and it's fantastic because it's like both of them were defending themselves. But we keep hearing all these things and then they don't pan out. So I have no idea what to think about it. Scott, welcome. It took you a while to get in.
Yeah, it did, Dan.
Good to see you. You two chat. I'll be back.
Hey, thanks, Dan. What are we discussing now?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anthony tried to come up with some subject, but...
Anybody been having problems with Google Chrome all day?
I've been having problems with Google Chrome for a while. But that's nothing new. But yeah, I've seen people reporting a lot of pages locking up on JavaScript.
Yeah, it's been a major pain in the butt today. I had to revert to Firefox.
Are you using a different mic than usual, Alan?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Why do I sound better or worse?
There's just a lot of echo.
Oh, I don't have my headset on.
It almost looks like you're in the same place. Well, we all have bookcases, I guess.
Exciting group today.
Yeah, we're always just a bundle of fun.
Guys, you got to go to Twitter or something and find something to talk about. This is, I can't be the only ADHD person in this hangout who's always got something to say. Scott, tell us about yourself. I'm listening. I'm multitasking on and off camera, but I can hear everything you're saying. So tell us where you're from and what you do and blah, 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 and what brought you to Google+.
Cool.
What are you watching in the news today or on the web or something?
I will. You know, my name is, as you can see, Scott, and I'm here in Seattle, Washington. I'm an executive director and founder of a new local nonprofit that's a little over a year old, Redeeming Souls. And what we do is collect new and used shoes, and we take them out to organizations throughout the Puget Sound area. I've had just a pure love for SEO and SEM work and marketing. And have really found that Google Plus has got just a ton of potential, and unfortunately, there's so many people just totally missing the ballpark. You know, I think Guy Kawasaki really hit a point that this is more of a Macintosh or an Apple product that once somebody gets to it and finds out how good it can be, they'll never leave.
It's absorbing, yeah, it is. What you get in, but
I have
it's so hard for some people to get into.
I have a large number of people who have been here and have left, and it's not because
all of us do.
You know, and never mind, I need to write up today's story.
One of my best Facebook friends blocked me on here, and I know in real life that she's great, but she blocked me because I post so much. I'm like a horrific poster. I mean, I just constantly, and she blocked me because I was filling her stream. Because they didn't have any volume controls at the time, and she didn't understand how it worked, and it seemed complicated to her. But it's like Photoshop. It's really powerful, but
well, it's really powerful, but not everybody needs Photoshop.
Correct.
You know, if all you're doing are taking pictures of your kids and posting 2 or 3 of them, you don't need Photoshop to clean up, you know, the picture.
As I said, this is the Mensa of social networks, unfortunately. But I don't want them to dumb it down to where we have limited features to make it simpler. And that is an awesome screen capture. Let me pull this up here for the. That is just fantastic. He froze at the most inopportune time. That's all. Everyone click print screen and share. Oh, I love me some Alan. Poor guy. He's like this incredible app developer, and he's got this horrible internet and computer configuration. But so you're into SEO. What did you think of like the JCPenney story when they busted them under the previous CEO for black hat tricks and stuff like that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, number one, it's just pure ethics, you know, and they just got caught red-handed. You stay away from the black hat tricks, and everything's cool. I'm sure there's many others out there that are still working with the black hat tricks, and I really think Google's weeding them out. You know, Matt Cutts does a really great job there.
Yeah, to me, like when a person says SEO, that's like, you know, to me it's become, you know, something negative, and maybe there's, you know, perfectly legitimate, you know, acceptable SEO companies out there, but every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, not, you know, another SEO. And I have this.
I really feel if a person has good content, it doesn't matter. People are going to link to you, so there's no sense in doing all this black hat. You have good content, you have good titles, you're going to get to the top of Google search. You don't need to do that fancy black hat stuff.
Right. Like, I have a friend that, like, every, I don't know, 8 to 14 months to something, you know, quote unquote spectacular, and he gets, you know, listed on Gizmodo and, you know, Lifehacker and all these different sites. And, like, he's not doing anything, you know, special. He's just, like, you know, making something that's cool that everyone likes. And, you know, you get onto these sites, and so basically you do something good, you're going to get discovered.
To a degree, but I mean, but it's funny. Like, if when I'll post, it's funny. Like I post a variety of different things. I'll post long, introspective, deep, you know, policy wonk stuff, and nobody cares. And then I'll post, you know, if I posted a funny a cat picture or something, it would get 1,000 shares. So there's a difference between SEO that's basically like, you know, buy a billboard and people will discover your product. And then, like what JCPenney did, again, under the previous CEO, with their black hat stuff. So, like, it has a negative connotation in some of the news stories because of some of the abuses that have gone on. But it's just common sense. It's like having a well-organized site that can recognize the way search engines work and draw the appropriate traffic to your site. Because if you don't know what you're doing and it's a ghetto site, then you know, you can have a less traffic than you deserve. And I think what all the and then it's a constant battle because all the search engines, what they're trying to do is get relevant results. You know, when you type, and that's why I like what Google's doing. I mean, if you correspond frequently in Gmail with someone who works at Panda Express restaurant, and then you type in Panda in the search engine, you're most likely interested in the restaurant as opposed to the bear, right? So that's cool. But you don't want someone to be able to game the system, and the gamers are the ones that, you know, cause the negative connotation for whatever degree that exists. But yeah, SEO is important. I mean,
you're always going to find that, Dan. I don't care what you're in, whether it's SEO, whether it's even racing a NASCAR or something like that. You're going to find somebody that's going to want to cheat and get the extra edge. NBA, I don't care where you go. And that's why Matt Cupps and his team just, you know, they're constantly working. That's why they're there. They do an awesome job. I just noticed there was a post up about 50 of the changes that were made in Google search that was posted up today. And those are things that, you know, marketers and website designers, and not so much website designers because they really don't care about the content and the keywords and so forth. But just to kind of stay updated on that really helps you out a ton. Links, relative links, and so forth through your images and backlinks and so forth. They're still putting a big effort on that yet.
It's funny how some of the links don't matter. Some of the backlinks don't matter. Like when I'll do a story, like I'll put a story on a newspaper website, and we'll get, you know, anywhere from hundreds to thousands of hits. And then, like, sometimes I'll stick it on Huffington Post, and I'll put a link right at the beginning. You know, this story was originally shared here. And you might get, like, 6 clicks from there. And you might get 3,000 from Google News. And you might get 12,000 from Facebook. That's a huge draw. Now, I know Pinterest is affecting everything, and Google Plus is you know, the newest player. But it's really interesting to see where the traffic comes from. Really, the social networks drive it. I mean, I could put something, even when I've had something on the front page of Huffington Post, the traffic from there pale, and they have 40 million unique viewers. I mean, when Andy Rooney died, I wrote this. I was moved because I always liked him growing up, right? And I wrote this piece, just like my thoughts, you know, what he meant to me or whatever, and they loved it, and they stuck it on their front page of Huffington Post for like a day and a half or something. And I think I got maybe, I don't know how many clicks. It was less than 100. Back to my actual website where I originally posted it. But on Facebook, it blew up like crazy. And it's really interesting to see the value. I don't care how important. It's very important if Anthony, who I know, and if he told me you should try this new smoothie at Starbucks or whatever, that is way more valuable to me because I know him, he's a friend, versus the best, like, top story on ABC News. You know what I mean? There's nothing beats a friend's recommendation who has no. I know if Anthony suggested I try something, that there's no like ulterior motive, right? But if you see an ad, you know it's an ad, and you weigh it accordingly. And so the social network draw is dramatic. It really is, and I see that in the draw in what hits our sites. It's a fascinating science. It really is. It's an art and a science all in one. The whole SEO thing, and you know, just how it works.
I really feel Google Plus has got a real advantage right now. I mean, number one, here we are, a search engine that knows about what's going on behind the scenes, and for them to number one, and you mentioned this, you put a higher definition or on those friends that recommend things, and Google Plus does that now. You know, with people in your circles when you're searching, that say you wanted to find out the newest features on a car or something like that, and if it's your buddy Jim down the road has already mentioned it, it's definitely a big plus. And I just read today that Google Plus right now, marketers are 40% of the marketers are now using it, which is pretty good for considering that actually most of them haven't even been on it until the last 6 months.
It's because of Search Plus Your World. They're forced to now. And it was genius for Google. I mean, it was clearly like, you know, punching you in the face, you got to use it now. And it worked, and it's great. Because it really is, as you know, now that you're on, it's the best kept secret out there. And everyone, I mean, eventually it's going to catch on more. It's not going to be like Buzzerwave, it's going to disappear. But yeah, it's clearly, I mean, you know that if you put a Google Plus page, it's going to be in Google Search. And Google Search is the king. I mean, that's their big asset. That's their Fort Knox, you know, straight up. And so I think it's genius for them to tie it all together. And it's all about the advertising revenue, and good for them. I mean, they're a corporation. They're not a philanthropy. So there aren't ads yet on Google Plus, although I would welcome that. I think it's a fair trade. I wouldn't mind seeing relevant ads. I mean, you know this, Scott. How many times have you done a search for something, and the search results aren't as good as the ads next to them? And the ads next to them often, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. You click on the ad instead of the actual generic search results. Because it gets back to what I was saying about Panda. Do you mean the bear, or do you mean the restaurant chain? You know what I mean? But if you type a certain thing in, those ad people are creative, and you'll get an ad that often is far more relevant than search results. And even the principals of Google have admitted this, that search is not perfect at all. You know, that there are still issues they're trying to work through.
I got to agree with you, Dan. You know, ads are going to be coming in here. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see someday shopping actually happening right on the Hangouts. I mean, once they get these apps rolling, I think a lot of things can happen here. There's a ton of potential. My analogy of the whole thing is it's been the Wild West. There's been a few pioneers that have settled in, and these are well-known people throughout the world, and they're still hanging out. I mean, look at Guy Kawasaki. He started out there at the beginning. And I'm not a big Guy Kawasaki fan, but I mean, apparently something is good here, or he wouldn't be hanging out yet. And others are starting to line up in their wagon trains, and I really feel that the beginning is started of a big test storm coming behind it.
Yeah, it would be neat if you wrote a book and you had a Google Plus page, and they could look, if they could incorporate some of the things like you'll see on Amazon, like preview the book, look at reviews and buy it, and Google gets a cut. I mean, that's fair. I mean, that'd be useful. Why do I have to go to a third-party site? I'm sure all this stuff they're mulling about. They're going to incorporate all these different things because they have such a huge footprint with Google search that they're finally going to milk it and incorporate all these things. And I think it's fantastic because I don't want to have to go elsewhere. I just think that makes sense. And at the same time, while they make money from that, it also makes it more attractive to someone who's selling something because they can do it all. I want a one-stop shop here on Google+.
And that's good, but you kind of hit a good note back there. It's being good for businesses right now, but what's it doing for the individuals? I mean, I don't see a whole lot of it. I know I watched your Friday night show last week, and I noticed one guy that was more of an individual, and Peter was more talking about the business aspect of it. I think his name was Jeff for some reason. And to hear what the experiences are for the individuals versus the businesses, that's what we need. Even the businesses really need to focus on. How do you drive those individuals over here to Google+? I mean, you're setting at Facebook where you're happy with your friends and your family, and 90% of the people are over there. So what do you do to bring them over?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think it's an issue of time. I think it's about time to get them over because, and as they hone the service down, one thing I think Google Plus does do is force you not to simply aggregate your posts, but to actually come up with a different kind of post here, because the audience here demands it. You can't simply the kind of content you would put on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus are very different. You can't get by with silly nonsense on Google Plus. It's almost like you're in college here or something where you're in a fraternity and everyone's sober and you're having a conversation, and you wouldn't get by with the kind of silly stuff that you get by with on Facebook here. Not to diminish the fact that they're great funny pictures and stuff that show up on What's Hot and all that, but it's almost like it forces you, the way that the community is, and it is very limited. It's quality over quantity, as I've said a million times. It demands that you actually, like if you misspelled something on Facebook or Twitter, it's not as big a deal as if you did here. You'd immediately correct it here. And don't you find that you tend to proofread 6 or 7 times before you hit that post button on Google Plus, whereas you wouldn't on Facebook or Twitter? It's really funny how it's kind of a different level of exchanging ideas. It's like you want to make sure your facts are straight and your spelling's right and you emphasize the right things, and it's almost like a blogging platform as opposed to a straight-up social network. It's a whole new paradigm. It's interesting to me to how I behave differently here than I would, like on Twitter. I might tweet, "Man, I'm stuck in this line that will not end at Starbucks. I've been here 10 minutes or something." I would never do that here. Mm-hmm. I would get a picture and create a pretty post and think about it for a while. How do I phrase this? because it's like a higher standard in a way. Does that make sense?
It totally does, you know, and that's the difference between the three top, to me, the three top social medias. You know, Twitter's on a right now, this minute, this second, or 2 seconds into the future, where Facebook is just finding out what your friends and family's doing. And then here we are. You really want to know this is more of passions of what you do and what you love and how you want to share it with others that like the same thing, not necessarily just your family. I just was on the other day and a photo from a gentleman right here in local Seattle. I ended up looking up. You can't do that on Facebook because you can't search it. So that's good. There's just tons of potential here. And Google's still working on it. I mean, they got a lot of ground to cover yet before it's really touched up and you know, doing a good job. But
they're far from done.
Oh yeah,
they're not done, and they've got so many assets. You know.
Have you been with them since the beginning, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Google Plus Week is on episode like 36 or something.
Yeah, that's what
so I've been here at least 36 weeks, and before that, it started out, it was McDermott Report, which was just a random show I was doing, and then Christina Trapolino came on a couple times, and I kind of created Google Plus Week for her because we ended up talking about, as it evolved and we got so excited about it, I kind of created the show for that. And then she went to Jason's Deli or whatever, and she her time scale didn't allow it for it. We just died here. It says the server connection has been lost. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Some functionality may be unavailable while we attempt to restore the connection. Okay.
Yeah, I've got that like 2 times already.
Wow. Yeah, I'm frozen, but I don't know if the thing is.
Nope, you're fine. I can see and hear, and everything looks good.
I don't
You
know
get 30 seconds to know if you've crashed out. If you can trouble it.
I'll click here and see what the deal is on the. I'm watching the player. Yeah, I can't tell if somebody say something. Let me see if you pop up.
You're doing fine. Did you catch that?
Trying to see if it switches. I'm watching the player now on my stream.
Like we can see you, you know, moving around and everything.
I think it's just stuck on me, which is not good. It should be like whoever's talking. But it's still working, so I guess, I don't know.
So you can still hear us?
I can hear you, and it's still broadcasting right.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, Google Plus has been a life-changing experience for me, you know. And that's why it was so fun. We did April Fool's gag where we're dumping this and going to Facebook Week, and it was just it was because basically all of us involved, you know, don't really particularly care for Facebook, but it was just I don't know. I've never seen such affection toward a product or service before as I have with this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it's just like I've met so many people. Like we've just met, and or I don't know if you've been in one of my hangouts before, or vice versa. But I met Anthony and Alan. I mean, all these guys we would never have met. You and I, Scott, would never have met but for Google Plus.
Oh, totally.
I mean, we never would have met on Twitter or Facebook. And this is just a big deal. It's just a whole new thing. It's so cool.